This ain't looking good. Yeah, the hint. I had that chat struggling 1-2. Look for every object. Look at every object that could be helpful in any situation. Oh, we woke up.
You awake? Sleep well, did you?
I didn't sleep voluntarily.
I didn't fall asleep voluntarily.
It doesn't matter. We got along just fine without you.
Ooh.
Have you arrested anyone yet?
You mean besides the Arab?
He could hardly have committed the murder. You must have been with him when it happened.
We heard the shot on the forecastle. I locked our friend in the detention cell in the cargo hold, and then went up to assist Legrand. You were already sleeping the sleep of the just.
Any
Other
other
suspects?
No. Seconds after the alarm went off, the decks were swarming with frightened passengers.
Yes. A clever way to stay incognito during the commotion.
But we still have our primary suspect, the Raven.
You really think he's returned?
Well, I think that no one knows as much about the Raven as Legrand.
But still, it all seems so incredible.
What knocked me out like that?
I didn't pass out last night because of the blow to my head, did I?
Seems unlikely. Inspector Legrand thinks you were drugged.
Oh,
But
the
how?
alcohol given to us by the captain.
champagne.
The champagne did
Who
something to us.
gave you the glass of champagne?
Who would have drugged the champagne though?
Captain De Conti.
Interesting.
It should be possible to find traces of the tranquilizer in the glass.
That is exactly what Legrand is trying to do.
Without a laboratory?
Oh, he's got a lab. His cabin is packed with all the latest
Oh, so
forensic
he's
stuff.
got a port
It's
a lot
quite
more time,
impressive
some
what
of
the
them.
inspector can do.
A competent man, no doubt. And surprisingly well prepared.
And diligent. He's been at it all night with his brushes and tinctures and glasses and everything. Working like a man possessed. I wouldn't want to be the Raven now.
What's the state of play? How was the Baroness killed?
The
Gunfire?
Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We'll know more once the doc finishes examining the body in the medical centre.
And no one saw anything suspicious?
No one saw a shadowy Raven leaving the Baroness's cabin, if that's what you mean. A lot of people heard the gunshot. Inspector Legrand wants to question the passengers again this morning, once they've all calmed down, and he's had a chance to examine the evidence.
I suppose that you and Legrand inspected the crime scene and the surroundings.
Of course, and we already hit the jackpot.
The murder weapon, where is it?
Really? Where did you find it?
On the gangway. The gangway for boarding the ship folds up and hooks onto the hull when it's not being used. The murderer probably wanted to throw the gun into the sea. He casually dropped it overboard.
But it landed on the gangway.
Oh, that was a
Bad.
poor move from the killer
But
there.
Legrand and I were on the side deck right after the shot. There was no one there.
Maybe the murderer threw the gun away later. We recovered it in the early hours.
I think I'll look for Inspector Legrand now.
Do what you think's best.
You won't get rid of me. I'm here to stay, Constable Oliver.
Be that as it may, Inspector Legrand ordered me to guard the cargo hold with our special guest. That's fine by me. Inspector Legrand may be able to get by without sleep for days on end, but not me.
Everyone needs sleep, even the police.
It's not easy playing with the big boys, Constable Zellner.
No, it certainly isn't.
Which way is he? Where is he then? Look off.
An antique wooden globe. If the globe nicely shows that 4/5 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Looking out the window, I'd call that an understatement.
Where is this room then? I'm gonna have a look around here first. Let's have a look around the cruise. Oh, that lovely food. I'm getting hungry and I think of food myself personally.
How wonderful. Sunshine and a blue sky above the Mediterranean Sea. It would be a perfect cruise day, if not for the murder.
Let's have a look over here then. Anything on this side? Don't think there's anything here. Anything here, sorry. Let's get out of the this area then. After Baroness's room. I wonder if we can look in her room a second, see if we found any other clues.
I'm pretty sure the seal doesn't have any legal relevance here but I'm still dependent on Legrand letting me join his team. I better not blow it by breaking his seal without permission.
Okay. What's over here? Whose room is this room then? Oh, we stuck. That's nobody's room. Let's go. We came from downstairs, but is Legrand room downstairs with us? I don't know where everyone's room is, so I've got to sort of look around now and find everyone's bedroom. Whose room is this? Medical center.
An evacuation plan? And some tips from the doctor for avoiding seasickness, sunburn, and here, a schedule of activities. A drink with the captain, a shuffleboard competition on the forecastle. That's about it. A real barrel of fun.
Good humor.
Come in.
Let's talk to the doctor.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
And there's the next one.
Excuse me?
You want something else from me, don't you?
I'm afraid I do.
What a first day at work. Well...
he's got a long list of things.
What's the result of your examination of the victim?
She's dead.
I didn't make you work all night long, Dr. Gebhardt.
She was shot. Point-blank shot. Probably with a pistol. It seems like she was lying in bed. The shot struck
Oh, so yeah,
her
she
heart.
couldn't defend herself. She wasn't even awake when it happened.
One shot?
More were unnecessary. And we only heard one shot, no?
And there's just one entrance wound.
Just one.
Knockout
I'm
drops.
told that I was drugged.
That's how it seems.
What can you tell me about it?
Me? Why should that be my business?
Haven't you analyzed the glass?
No, I haven't. The inspector said he's the better chemist.
Oh, he wants to do it himself, okay.
That way I could at least concentrate on the body.
Do you think the Baroness might have been drugged? She was very tired and unsteady when Legrand and I saw her.
Yeah, I heard about that. I must have just missed her in the saloon.
Yeah, she looked like she was drunk, so
it is hard to make a diagnosis.
Just
her cords looked dizzy and alcohol.
Can you say something about her general health?
She was quite overweight, and the butler said that she suffered from diabetes. Despite that, she hadn't visited a doctor for several years.
Oh, that's not good.
Happens more frequently than you might suppose. Some people are scared of doctors and pay with an early death. It is possible that the Baroness wouldn't have lived much longer anyway.
Oh, that's not good to know.
Do you know whose glass I drank from?
What do you mean?
Captain de Conti handed me a glass of champagne. But where did he get it?
I don't know. Did you ask him?
I'm just asking because you were also in the saloon when the champagne was served.
Yes, but I only entered the saloon a few seconds before you did. I didn't manage to get a drink myself.
Which, in retrospect, is lucky.
Lucky him. By
you're
chance, he
right
didn't
about
take the
that.
drugs.
Have you already removed the bullet?
Did Legrand send you? What is that Frenchman's problem? I already told you. I will get in touch as soon as I have it. That is also what I told you.
Legrand just wants everything from him in like 5 seconds. Do this, do that, doctor, do this.
Of Legrand himself.
Did he look over your shoulder?
He probably wanted to take the scalpel from my hand and hack away himself. But this is my surgery, and I will not let amateurs interfere with my work.
Understand,
That's
doctor?
Understandable. How much longer will it take?
I have just finished. Send my regards to His Majesty.
Thanks. I think that's it for now.
No. That is it for now, then, and later. I'm
Oh,
going
forever.
to lie down for a few hours. Can you tell that to your boss?
Will do.
But...
Doctor's chucked us out. Oh, no, he didn't chuck us out. He's leaving as well. I thought he was just chucking us out of the room. Grabbed us, said, I just want to rest now. Leave me alone,
could
guys.
I at least have the key?
Absolutely not.
But if we have to examine the victim again...
Then the esteemed inspector knows where to find me. In my cabin. In bed. Good night, Constable Zellner.
Okay, good night. Giving us all the attitude.
An alarm like this one was set off yesterday. This one hasn't been set off. The security seal is intact. I'm not paying for this trip, and that's a fair price for my cabin. It's rather... plain, shall we say. I'm not paying for... It's rather... No.
Oh, this is his off room. He's literally next to the medical room.
Legrand's cabin.
Legrand.
Come in.
We had the bullet. Oh, it literally is like a lab in here.
Ah, Zellner, are you ready?
Good morning, Inspector Legrand. My head is pounding, but I think I'm okay.
Chloral hydrate.
Hmm?
That's why you have a headache.
Chlorhydrate.
I found traces of it in your champagne glass.
Oh, so that's what's drugged us.
What have you found out so far?
The Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We heard the shot. The murderer quickly fled the cabin and dropped the murder weapon over the railing later. A simple story so far.
But why was her cabin door locked?
Exactly. If the murderer wanted to make it seem like a suicide, he'd have
Yeah,
shot her
exactly.
in the
No,
head
gets
and
in
left
and
the
she
gun at
just,
the
and then
cracks.
they find her dead.
And if it was murder, why did he go to all the trouble of locking the door from inside? And how did he manage that anyway?
Especially since we arrived just a few seconds later and didn't see anyone near the cabin.
Something doesn't make sense here.
No.
Was it a butler that killed her?
It's driving me crazy.
It's James the Raven.
Did you find the murder weapon?
On the gangway on the side of the ship. I suspect the murderer tried to drop it into the sea. He would have stood close to the railing to let it fall unseen.
And since he doesn't know the ship, he had bad luck and dropped it right onto the gangway.
Indeed. And do you find that probable?
Not a bit.
Neither do I.
What type of
kind
gun
of
did he
gun
eat
is
with
it?
it?
A pistol. A Luger 08.
Oh, it's a
Empty.
German gun.
Manufactured a million
Luger, I think
times
it's German?
during and after the
Austria
First
and
World
Austrian,
War.
but not the way I say it, yes.
The owner is David Kreutzer, the violinist. We found him tonight totally drunk on the bow of the ship. He confirmed that it's his gun, but he claims that it was
Oh,
stolen.
the violinist again.
Fingerprints?
We saw the purse earlier as well in
But
the
it's
first
worth mentioning
episode.
that the clip was missing 2 bullets.
And it's definitely the murder weapon.
The ballistic tests are incomplete. Actually, I've been waiting far too long for the bullet recovered from the corpse. Pay the good doctor a visit, Zellner, and see that he does his job.
About the bullet, here it is.
Oh, you already spoke to the doctor for you.
Give it to me. As I suspected, a 7.65 Parabellum Luger.
Yeah, matches the gun.
Don't you want to examine it in more detail?
When I have time. For now, though, we can assume that we have the murder weapon. There can't be too many antique Luger 08 pistols on board.
May I take a look at the Baroness's cabin?
We already searched it thoroughly.
Sure. But what about now, by daylight?
Yes, fine, it can't hurt. Here, take this with you.
Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything important.
But only then, please. I'm very busy.
Of course.
Violinist?
You believe the violinist?
He'll be the first person I question.
Okay,
claims
so
he
he's already
can't
on top of the
remember
list of
anything
witnesses.
from the last few hours.
I
Says he
suspect the
drank
guy listed
bottles
he's in
of
at least
He was on
been
the train, and he doesn't have a
coordinating
alibi.
with the Raven
His
potentially.
drunkenness could be a smokescreen.
He fits the profile. He travels a lot, has access to high society. Could be interesting.
And
drug?
this chloral hydrate?
Is a tranquilizer. Can be dissolved in alcohol. The effect begins in minutes and lasts for hours. Who gave you the glass of champagne?
The captain.
I believe it was Captain De Conti.
If believing were enough for us, we'd have become priests, Constable. Be a policeman and find...
Understood. You think that the jewel thief is the murderer?
Our friend would have needed another key to open the safe and steal the second eye. The one the Baroness was carrying. At least, that's what we implied.
What do you mean?
The Baroness was famous for her forgetfulness. I convinced her to give me the third key. It's
So he'll be going after the inspector
The
next.
thief searches the Baroness's cabin, looking for the third key.
She returns from the saloon earlier than expected.
Surprises him, and he can't allow her to identify him.
Yep, the
He
surprise come
imprisons
back
her
to bed
until the
early
coast
because after
is
she's drunk
clear,
she wants to go to
and then
bed.
shoots her.
And thus, the thief becomes a murderer.
But still doesn't have all the keys.
Are you sure that there's no bomb inside this time?
Professor Lucien locked it in front of an audience, and it will be opened for the first time in Cairo.
Let's hope so.
It would take hours to crack it, and you'd need heavy machinery.
Or the keys.
Or the 3 keys, that's right.
Do you think...
I'm asking this guy every question so we
that
have all the intel
Raven
so we can
is
explore
behind
everywhere.
all this?
He wrote the letter that was on the safe in the train. Without the letter, we wouldn't have opened the safe, and the bomb wouldn't have exploded.
But it doesn't seem like him, does it?
Does the Raven was
The
famous in
Raven
part
was
because he never
famous
hurt
in
anyone?
part because he never hurt anyone, much
The
less
killingless
killed
thief.
anyone during a burglary.
It's his handwriting, and he called me Nico. No one else does that. I chased that man across Europe for years. It is him. It has
He's
to
so
be.
obsessed with the
But
Raven
the
now,
evidence-
his own eyes think
Enough.
Raven's
I'll
actually
be
involved
on my
now.
way. I want to find out who gave me the drugged champagne.
Good idea.
Inspector Legrand, are you okay?
He's just working a bit.
Maybe you should take a break.
I can sleep once I've caught the Raven. Goodbye, Constable.
Be seeing you.
What's not infantry currently then? I know we've got a bullet now, I'm guessing. That'll help us out.
Legrand is risking not just his career, but his health as well on his
Yeah, he's
hunt
overdoing
for
it
the
to the point
Raven.
where he's just
He's
can't-
working like a demon. Maybe that's why he caught the Raven and no one else.
We've got the
These
satchel with the
little
bullet in there.
sachets.
Nothing down there. Oh, that's the cabinet room. Is there anything down here? No. We're gonna go to the woman's room then. Okay, so where is it? Oh yeah, Baroness's room's over here. So basically we're going to search Baroness's room, that's the idea I'm guessing.
This is the first murder scene I've
And also
ever
we've got to
set
find out where the
foot in.
champagne came from. And who poisoned it. Has to be someone with medical or knowledge of some type of drugs. Could be the policeman. Examining, what is that? It's examining the cover or something. Yeah? What's that? I've got loads of things.
Another alarm. It was tripped at some point. The seal is broken. But there's no way of telling whether it happened yesterday or 5 years ago.
There was something up here a minute ago when I turned. That's it.
There should be a ventilation shaft behind the hatch. Usually a good way to break in and out undetected. But we're on a ship. The ventilation shafts are very small here.
Has to be someone quite thin and nimble then. What's in this then?
The most unportable portmanteau I've ever seen.
What's in here then?
A portable must be. And the Baroness was lucky that the other freight cars were only lightly damaged by the explosion.
What's this then? Documentation?
The notepad has the ship's emblem on it. I suppose all the first-class cabins have them.
Anything in a notepad? Ah, you can decode it. Inspector... Oh, this is really awkward. And I will oh, she was going to expose the person on board. So she knew who the murderer was. Or it is, basically.
It says, Inspector, be in the saloon at 10 p.m. There is a murderer on board and I will expose him.
She already knew before she died.
The Baroness seems to have known the murderer, and that means that the Raven can't be the murderer. He never killed anybody. Legrand probably never got the message, otherwise he'd have said something.
Okay, we got this as evidence.
The mannequin surely came with the cabin. A mannequin for the Baroness's clothes would have a more generous figure.
She's large, she makes her say it. What's this?
Sunflowers.
The Van Gogh
I
picture.
presume. He liked to paint that sort of thing. Can't be an original. They cost thousands of francs. A big, ugly, and impractical vase. If it had a wider opening, one could at least use it as an umbrella stand.
Can we actually... Oh, we can still look at it? Is there something inside the vase?
Can't see anything. Wow. Heavier than it looks.
Oh. What's in there?
Aha! Why were the down feathers tossed in the vase? Or is there anything else in there? There may be something else. Why were the... Or there may be something else in the vase, but the neck is too narrow to reach in with my hand.
Okay, we need something long to reach it then.
A tape recorder. Must go with the built-in speakers. The tape recorder is older than the hills, but it was once very expensive. Top of the range. And it doesn't come cheap. There's only... And it's the wrong one. No. No sign of the original reel. A reel made by Sling. Sibling's tapes can be overwritten many times without losing quality. They're used in offices so that executives can record messages for the secretaries on the same tape over and over again.
You could have some
not
sort of
good
proof
for
on
much
it.
else. They're robust, but they don't offer much in terms of sound quality.
We'll take it for ourselves. There's the blood.
There's still blood on the mattress. The sheet and the blanket have already been removed. To analyze them, I suppose.
What are we looking at there now? Inspector?
Nothing.
The blood spot.
The blood spot is... Somehow... That's odd. The blood is so... red. Shouldn't it gradually darken in the air? turn brown? The unusual color of the blood could be something that Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt missed last night. All cats are gray in the dark, as the saying goes. I should take a sample. The unusual...
How do they take it though? Do they have any like...
The portholes face the side deck. If someone climbed out of the cabin through a porthole, Legrand and I would have seen them.
What's this?
Apparently, the Baroness didn't have time to unpack her bags. Or rather, didn't have time to tell her butler
yeah,
to
butlers do. I was about to say that. The butler does it for her.
But here...
Let's have a handbag up.
Ah.
A journal? Diary?
A small leather-bound book. 1964 is engraved on it. This must be the Baroness's diary. Cosmetic. Let's see. Yes, it's a diary, all right. Difficult to read. No entry from yesterday.
Yeah, she's probably gonna write it in the morning because she's too not writing anything.
Sober description of what she's done recently. Met Morris. Arranged benefit concert for renovation of Louvre Southeastern Wing. Times photo shoot for Eye of Sphinx. BM, poor excuse for photographer. Too fidgety. And so on.
Anything we're going to find that's important in this diary?
This entry looks strange. The handwriting is shaky. Difficult to read. Dreamt of Bobby. Yesterday would have been his birthday. Next week, Jay's.
Examine diary. Is that something we could do with diaries still?
The Baroness was... She writes about Bobby and Jay. Neither seem to be alive anymore. Almost every family lost loved ones in the war.
Oh, okay.
Maybe hers as well. I'll leave it there. I don't have to...
What's this?
Something's under there. Down feathers. Maybe from a quilt or a pillow. Nothing special. Although, it seems like one of the feathers was scorched at the top. Literally burnt. I'll take it with me.
Well, look at the pillows.
The unusual...
I need to probably cut that or something, potentially.
It's the same... And the Baron... Why? Oh.
We need something long to get to that then, basically. What's in there? Could there be anything in here?
An impressive piece. I can't say why, but something tells me that the murderer entered and left the cabin through the door. The only question is how.
Okay. There's not much else in here we can look at now, except for the vase and the bed. Might have to find some tools
The
to
door frame wasn't. The real question is, why was the door locked in the first place?
She could lock it herself.
Assuming the murderer isn't a magician, and the Baroness locked the door herself...
Exactly, I was about to say that.
Bed,
She locked
the
herself in.
murderer couldn't have left the cabin through the door. So, the murderer must have still been in here when Dr. Gebhardt kicked the door in. Which is unlikely, because someone would have seen him. Or he found another way out of the cabin.
Where else can you get out of the cabin, then? Yeah, only way is up. So now we have to find some tools, I think. Let's talk to James.
The Baroness's butler looks like he didn't get much sleep. I would describe his facial expression as worried.
Let's talk to the butler then.
Hello, Mr. Inch.
Oh, Constable, hello.
You look the worse for wear. It must be terrible for you.
Quite terrible. No one will hire me now.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
My mistress was murdered. Would you hire a butler who's been mixed up in a murder?
Ah,
If
so you
it
don't trust him
turns
to be
out
protecting
you're
him.
not guilty.
If. But what if not? Who else would they blame? There are no gardeners on this ship.
I understand your problem. Under these circumstances, I'm sure you'd answer some questions that could help clear your name, wouldn't you?
Of course.
We'll help you. We'll help you. Where
Did
were
you
you last
notice
night?
anything suspicious last night?
No, sir. After the Baroness went to the saloon, I went to the forecastle. I was there until the alarm went off. I went to the side deck and arrived shortly after Professor Lucien and Miss Miller. We found you and Inspector Legrand there. You were unconscious, and the inspector asked us to take care of you.
Did you
Gunshot?
hear the gunshot?
No, just the alarm, sir.
You said you were on the forecastle. It sounded like the Baroness let you have the rest of the night off.
Not entirely, sir. One of the crew informed me that the Baroness wanted to be roused at 10:15.
Right. Why was that?
I suppose that she wanted to toast the success of the journey with the
Not that she
captain
knew that
and the
murderer.
passengers.
She hadn't intended to take a nap then.
That was not her way, sir. She had a lot of spirit, shall we say, when it came to social engagements and a glass or two of champagne.
So she was drugged probably herself.
The Baroness's cabin seems to have been ransacked.
Indeed, sir, by the Baroness herself.
Really?
She was searching for something the entire afternoon.
And
key, probably?
did she find it?
I think she did, sir, yes. She was in high spirits when she finally left her cabin.
You wouldn't happen to know what she was looking for, would you?
I'm afraid not.
Would you describe the Baroness as orderly?
Well, she always had a lot of responsibilities, sir.
That doesn't answer my question.
She used to take a lot of luggage on journeys, and I helped her keep track of it as best I could. She was always very angry when she couldn't find something.
What about the photos and the documents I saw in her cabin?
I really don't know. They were out of bounds to me, sir.
Oh, so she didn't share
Memories
any
from the
secrets with
war,
her
I'd
butler
say.
then?
They meant a lot. to
All of
her.
it is inside her, kept to herself.
The Baroness seemed to be pretty drunk the last time I saw her.
Is that so?
Does that surprise you? Did the Baroness not drink?
Oh, yes, she drank. It was no secret.
I understand. How serious was her habit?
Serious enough, sir.
Was she under any medical supervision?
Certainly not, sir. She adamantly refused to see a doctor. Like so many elderly women, she had a distinct aversion to hospitals.
I'll come up
and
and
the
kill
like.
Rostlery then.
How long had you worked for the Baroness?
6 months, sir.
Oh, he's only a
Only
new
6
butler.
months. I always thought that butlers stayed with their employers for decades.
Those decades have to start at some point, Constable. Her former butler wasn't able to fulfill his duties any longer. Gout, sir.
I understand.
I took on his duties and hoped for a secure position for the next 20 years.
Stiff arm?
May I ask what happened to your arm?
Did
he get hurt?
From the war, sir.
Doesn't
Oh,
it
you always
hinder
are.
your
Yeah,
work?
okay.
Yes, sir. Obviously.
I didn't mean to offend you.
The Baroness had a soft spot for disabled veterans. I think she'd been through a lot herself.
I think that's all for now.
Please, sir, find the murderer. You have to clear me of all suspicion.
We will. Hopefully you aren't just hiding something from us. Okay. Apparently a gun was thrown outside somewhere. We still got a few things in the room to check. Yeah, let's go this side. We haven't looked over here yet. We've been looking at indoors. We haven't looked outdoors yet for anything. Clues or anything.
I'd really like to lie in the sun.
Yeah, just sit in the sun for a bit.
But I don't have time for that at the moment.
You can't get any sleep.
No, Jacob. Did Edison have any idea what would become of his invention?
Yep, kind of like a lot of decorative bulbs.
Big, soft towels. I could reserve a deck chair with it. No.
Or speaker.
These things made quite a racket last night. I couldn't hear myself think.
Oh, that's the entrance to the saloon, okay. So that just goes back to the saloon earlier where we were. Let's go up top then. Apparently he threw up the gun of the ship. Whoever had the gun. Let's go up top now then. We need to find 2 things. And also we might need some stuff from the doctor because we need to make a blood sample. What's this?
Curious. One can easily toss a gun into the sea from almost anywhere on the ship without being noticed. And yet, the murderer chose the one spot where it's not actually possible.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The gangway is hard to miss. Why did the murderer drop the gun on the gangway? They must have noticed their mistake, even if their back was to the sea. So, why didn't they take the gun and throw it a few meters farther into the sea?
Well, we still were an analyst. Oh no, it just goes back in there. What? I saw something a second ago.
I suppose the life jackets are stowed there, close to the wreck. I hope I don't find myself needing a life jacket.
Yeah, I hope the ship doesn't sink. There was another thing to analyse around here. Oh, it's 2 ways. What's over here? Let's have a look. We need to check every area, see if we can find anything that will help us out. There's so much to explore in this game. What was 2 things? He's sleeping like a baby.
It may not seem like it, but Constable Oliver is actually a very effective watchman. The Raven just flew by.
What?
Or at least, he might as well have.
I wasn't asleep.
I understand. It was just
It was just a ruse. I'm just joking, my friend.
Any conclusions about our young stowaway?
He's a bit suspicious, foreign and whatnot.
I see. Did he act suspiciously in any way?
No. The shot surprised him as much as it did me. Looked in on him earlier. Still seems to be asleep.
Covered with a blanket from head to toe?
Oh, he's still in there. I poked him.
May I go downstairs and have a couple of words with our guest?
No, you may not.
Come again?
Inspector Legrand wants to conduct all the interrogations himself.
I'm sure he'll understand if I form my own conclusions.
He ordered me to guard the door, and that's just what I'm going to do.
How about a bit of individual initiative?
How about letting a man do his job? Or do you think you'd be better at it?
Your
What do you
theories?
think? What happened here last night?
The Raven broke into the Baroness's cabin, she surprised him, and he shot her.
What was he looking for in her cabin?
She was a rich woman.
He didn't want
Probably
to
got,
steal
yeah,
her
she thinks all the
purse.
valuables, but I don't
He
think it's
wanted
that.
the
It's going to be one of
third
the guests I reckon killed her.
Legrand
I just
also
need to figure out
told you
which
about
guest
that.
it is.
Why did he lock the door?
Why not?
From inside? An impressive trick.
I'm not saying I know how he did it. I'm just saying that it was him.
Why didn't he leave a raven feather?
Are you serious? We'd have suspected him straight away.
But fortunately, we still did.
The Raven?
Let's assume that the old Raven really has returned and that he really is responsible for all this.
Who is he or
Who is he?
she?
Or she.
Oh, could be anyone. No one's ever seen the Raven.
He could also be paying someone else to do his dirty work.
Well, of course. It's a fact that he used to work with partners. They even arrested some of his accomplices.
But
Ooh.
no one could ever identify the Raven himself. Some claims that they didn't even know that they were working for him. Fascinating. He could have hired someone with financial difficulties to set off the alarm at a certain time without that person knowing why they were doing it.
The man Legrand shot back then, he was a famous safecracker. He could just as well have been a henchman.
Or the real Raven. There's probably no better cover for a big thief than acting like a small one. I don't want to keep you from your duties any longer.
Good idea.
We want to get there later on, but we need to do it when he's not around.
I wonder if this game is an advanced version of bocce. Maybe the inventor realized that it's difficult to play ball games on a boat and came up with an alternative.
Okay, so there is the stowaway. You run this game?
The stowaway surely didn't sleep, although his cell is... He won't hear us if I...
Is that just the end of it?
He won't let me talk to I. He respects Legrand far too. If I want to get into the cargo hold...
Okay, we have to get down there potentially. What's this? Oh. Did I pick something up a second ago? Ah, there it is. Can't get it.
Constable up. You can tell it.
What am I highlighting there then? There is something right there. I just can't seem to get it on my screen. There
The
it
bottle
is.
should be full of water, unless the good constable happens to have it. No way to verify.
Oh, I know how to get him out then. We have to fill his water with alcohol. There's a lot to do in this one little game. It looks simple on paper, but it's like, yeah. You have to do a lot of many things to get around the place. Well, I'm still suspecting that the violinist has something to do with it. You just need to figure out what the violinist can do with it.
We were here yesterday when we heard the shot, and it was also here where Legrand caught our stowaway.
Is that a doorway over here? Is that from there?
Why is there an axe hanging? Or they use it to...
What's this? That's
The
downstairs.
ship's bridge. 2 men. One of them navigating. I get the impression that the officers keep things running. It seems like the captain concentrates on the passengers and the bar.
What's this?
There's dirt piled up in the corner. Down below where the passengers are, the ship is pretty clean. But the crew doesn't seem to care as much up here. I better let the men do their work.
Okay, that's all we can do on this side.
The grate must be
Ventilation.
part of the ship's ventilation system. Nothing out of the ordinary. The grate. This isn't a panoramic deck for visitors. There are pipes, steel cables, chains up here. You can smell the smoke from the funnel. I have no idea how the ship works. I could inform the captain that the grid has to be repaired, but if I start reporting all the problems on the ship...
Yeah, we do
I'll
everyone's
have to
job saying, oh,
shelve
this
my
needs
murder
fixing, this needs fixing,
investigation.
give them the whole list. So... Okay, so we haven't been to the other side of the deck yet. Let's go to the bar a second.
The tip of one of the down...
What have we got? We currently got the message,
The
tape.
message from the...
Let's go grab some alcohol. It's probably going to be in the saloon, the alcohol. And then we can see if there's anywhere else we can investigate. go to bar? Oh, we got Lady Westcott here now.
Seems to be an early bird, but maybe I saw a twinkle in her eye on the train. She's eager to be part of a real detective story.
Okay, let's talk to her then.
Lady Westmacott, already on your... Oh,
Constable, don't you think before you speak?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No time for chit-chat. What have you found out?
We're still working on the case. Actually, I have a couple of
Okay, let's ask the
questions
criminal author about some advice.
What did you think of our adventure on the train? An extraordinary story, isn't it?
Everything went crazy on the train, didn't
you were
it?
able to prove yourself, Mr. Zellner.
Hopefully not for the last time.
I'm glad that everything ended well. I want to thank you sincerely for taking care of Matthew. I can't bear to think about something happening to him.
It all worked out in the end. Do you
The jewel
think
thief?
that the thief from the train and the murderer are the same person?
I think the new Raven is capable of anything.
Legrand believes there is no new Raven. He thinks that the old one has returned.
He said that.
Do you think it's possible? Everyone thinks he's dead.
As a dramatist, the return of the Raven would certainly be delightful. A legend comes back from the grave for one last job. It's quite romantic. At the same time, though,
I don't think it's a Raven. I think there's someone else here intending to put Raven on to
career closely.
get him off guard.
There weren't many burglars with such character and charm. His burglaries were clever and entertaining, but he was sloppy in London. He almost got caught, and I'll never forgive him for the affair on the train. No, I would much rather that the Raven stayed dead and had nothing to do with the burglary or the murder.
What do you
Who's your
think?
suspect then, lady?
Who is our suspect?
Everyone, or almost everyone. Everyone on board is physically capable of shooting someone, but who has the dark desire to take the life of a defenseless person?
You could have still
One
the gun
cannot
of the
read minds.
violinist.
And one should not try. You have to collect evidence, traces, clues. That's what will lead us to the killer. It won't be like a bad crime novel, in which they introduce a new character shortly before the end who, surprise, surprise, is also the murderer.
Murderers leave evidence. They're nervous or unnaturally relaxed. They have to adjust constantly.
And because of that, they make mistakes. This is your chance, Constable. If you find the mistake, you'll find your murderer.
Have
Murder
you
to
noticed
Baroness?
anything related to the murder?
Unfortunately not. I was already in my cabin and missed all the commotion. Damnable old
Oh yeah,
age.
she probably went to bed
You're
early.
telling me.
Oh, you're still young. At my age, you have to expect that you won't experience much anymore. And although I've written about murder so many times, I've never actually witnessed one. How exciting.
I doubt everyone is so relaxed in such a situation.
I certainly didn't want the Baroness to be murdered, but if I can't undo it, then I might as well enjoy it.
What
Inspector
do you think
Legrand?
of Inspector Legrand?
Legrand,
He
sorry,
seems to
he
be
gets
as
name wrong all
skilled
the
as
time.
everyone says. Intelligent, focused. I had a chat with him yesterday, and he impressed me, but there's something haunted in his eyes.
I don't think he ever really stopped hunting the Raven.
You know,
What if
Bleedy
the
killed him.
Raven made him famous? What if he actually shot the wrong person? Unjustified fame bothers people, the good ones at least.
And you think he's one of the good ones?
Anyone who tries so hard to tear down his own memorial must be honorable. Or insane.
I have to be going, lady.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course. I shouldn't. Lady, but maybe I saw.
Let's talk to the... Oh, what's this?
The alcoholic drinks and everything that goes with them is top-notch on this ship. As expected, fresh ice and...
Oh, tongs. That works. My favour. I have to use it now. I should have checked it earlier, because that helped me check something out.
I need this...
Well then, why didn't you say so? So, how are you getting along?
Actually, what
Of
was
eating
your
event last
experience
night?
of last night?
Oh, terrible. Dinner was fantastic. Everyone was excited about having a
captain's a
pleasant
bit
drink
quiet
under the
volume-wise.
stars. And then this.
You were in the saloon all night long.
As the captain, I have to care for my passengers. After you and the others rushed out, I tried to maintain a festive atmosphere.
To try to keep the party going.
When the alarm goes off, I lose the battle.
How was
Baroness?
the Baroness?
She really surprised me. After she was so unapproachable at the reception and didn't show her face for the entire afternoon, I
Oh,
was
she
afraid
was a bore
she was
and
one of
a-
the bores and bourgeoisie. But then she arrived in the early evening in the best of moods. Already had a few, if you know what I mean.
Did she say anything to you?
She asked me where Legrand's cabin was. I told her, then invited her to come for drinks in the evening.
Okay, so it was his
It would be
idea.
Great fun. The whole ship will be there, and you don't want to miss that, I told her.
And then?
She seemed to like the idea. She smiled, and then left again for a few minutes. Then she came back and seemed very happy. We drank a toast to life.
Tired Baroness?
But at some point she didn't feel well anymore?
She overdid it a bit. She suddenly started to swoon and almost spilled her drink.
So she was
I
too
asked
drunk, she
her
thinking
if
she had to go to bed and
wanted
sleep it
rest
off.
for a moment in her cabin. At first, she didn't want to. She definitely wanted to stay in the saloon. But then she realized that she really did need to lie down. We left together. You know the rest of the story.
Did
Poison
everyone
champagne?
drink from the same bottle of champagne last night?
There was more than one bottle, if that's
Oh, okay, so he poisoned one bottle.
There were quite a few guests, and the event lasted several hours.
The last bottle of champagne, the one the Baroness drank from, did anyone else drink from it?
Certainly.
We have reason to believe that the champagne was drugged.
Incredible.
Yeah, we knew that already, but yeah.
Wouldn't that have made everyone drowsy?
Not if it was only the Baroness's glass that was drugged.
I see. That's possible.
Oh yeah, we're trying to figure out who
On a night
poisoned the
like
champagne,
that,
because we need to
many
know
glasses
where they
are
got it
filled
from.
and emptied. There are several stewards, many guests. No one keeps track of every glass and every bottle.
A few drops in a glass?
Yes.
The
My
glass
glass?
you handed me last night, where did you get it?
You think your glass was put...
Did you pour it yourself?
No. I saw that you weren't doing so well and wanted to rescue the situation. I took the first available glass and I give it to you.
Was it on the table?
No, I hurry over to you, together with Dr. Gebhardt, who, of course, he had the glass in his hand. He was looking
Oh,
at
Werner
it
could have poisoned us.
down so that he could examine you. I took it from him.
And gave it to me.
I'd like to apologize for that, but you look...
So the doctor had the drugged glass in his hand.
Yeah, I suspect the doctor has something
Is
to do
it
about
possible
it.
to find out where the alarm was set off?
I'm afraid not. There are alarms all over the ship.
That's another
I saw
curiosity, a
that the seal-
doctor.
Can't we just check whether the seal is broken?
I'm afraid they're gonna be missing on a lot of alarms. You know, this is an old ship, and over the years...
So, you're saying that the alarms haven't been regularly maintained?
I'll inform the crew immediately, of course.
Of course. What can you tell me about the passengers?
Oh, not that much, I'm afraid. I wanted to get to know them properly at the reception. In most cases, I just shook hands with them as they boarded the ship.
So you didn't know
There are
much
a
really
few
help us.
regulars on board, and after dinner, I had a conversation with Mr. Kreutzer, a talented violinist.
Oh, we don't know
and
about him a
Lady
lot.
Westmacott.
We think he's got something to do with this
But
situation.
You already know them from the train.
It seems like there aren't that many passengers on board.
These bloody airplanes are making our lives miserable. Can you imagine? Grown men prefer to jam themselves into a narrow metal coffin.
Planes taking over world, boats getting
fresh
less
sea
popular.
air on a ship.
It's all about saving time.
It shouldn't be about how much time it takes to get from
It's about the
A to
journey,
B,
exactly.
but about how you
I like this
spend
guy's way of
that
thinking.
time. What you experience on the journey, that's what it's about.
I'll get back to my investigation.
Ciao,
I believe I've got everything.
Can I get any champagne from the side? I need to do something about him, but I need to need to get alcohol from. At least I can go into Baroness's room now and actually get whatever's in that vase. Can I have the tongue now? Okay. I'm gonna press start. I'm gonna probably see the inspector soon because I've clicked a lot of clues recently. Whatever's in here then.
Could work. There's something in there. Ah. Someone stuffed this in the vase.
Is it blood?
Looks
He whistles
like
when
it's
it's a
been
good clue.
used to muffle a gunshot. If this isn't an important discovery, I don't know what it. Legrand?
Well, I think I found everything I currently can at this time. I need to find something to cut the blood, get the blood sample. That's going to be in the doctor. We found out the doctor potentially poisoned the alcohol, and we've got all the notes now. I think all we need really is alcohol potentially to make the Oliver, the police constable, pass out.
A singed pillowcase is proof that there must have been a second gunshot.
Oh, we literally went straight to the room. Oh, okay, not like we actually waited to go in there.
Inspector?
Are you alright, Legore?
Can't you knock?
I didn't realize. I'm really...
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm going to question each passenger individually. Anyone without an airtight alibi will be checked for gunshot residue.
But, Inspector...
People trip up when you put pressure on them.
So he wants to do it all by himself. This is not going to be a fun journey.
He's changed his methodology and become a murderer. I'll see it in his...
But, Inspector Legrand...
We have information for you. Why do you want to talk to us? Well, I found a lot of clues.
We have no proof that the Raven and the murderer are the same person.
You may not know it, but I do. I will.
Oh, he's so
catch him
obsessed his
with
eyes
or
can't see
without
past the
your
rage he's got inside him.
I don't believe it. What's gotten into him? Oh, well. It makes no sense to tell him about my theories if his opinion is already set. I need evidence. I also need his lab if I'm going... I need to get in there somehow. And I really need to talk to the stowaway. He may have information, and the inspector will just ignore him, since he's too young.
Door's locked, I'm guessing?
The lock isn't especially secure.
Need a wire. Why is it always wires? Maybe in the... Oh.
Neither Dr. Gebhardt nor Constable Oliver can keep up with Legrand's pace. I wonder what would happen if Legrand dragged him out of bed for another investigation. We're lucky that the Lydia has... I suppose it was added during the war. A ship of this size wouldn't normally have a full medical center. Dr. Gebhardt would want to be greeted by...
Can I actually get in there?
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door. Something...
Yeah, that's all fine. Just want to check got all the information there. I need to find a way to get to that room. So I'll get to the doctor's room, the main room for the investigator, and I need to somehow get into the lower room down there, lower decking. Who would have wire? Last time I had wire, it was the daughter.
Mr. Kreutzer, come on, you have to give me a bit more. You're the only one who was on the train and who has no alibi for last night.
As I said, I was in my cabin.
Are you sure that it was your cabin and not the Baroness's?
Legrand will question the guests, one after another. But if he doesn't get the answers that he wants to hear, it could become unpleasant for them. Lady...
By all means, Mrs.
How is the questioning going?
Are you implying that I'm an eavesdropper? The inspector
Essentially,
is
that's what I'm asking the question.
on our dear Mr. Kreutzer. He's the only one who was on the train and who doesn't have an alibi for last night.
Perhaps. But him?
I'm a murderer? I don't think he murdered anyone,
I
no.
know
He's
people
involved,
like him.
but not murderer.
He'd turn it into a drama, and then a farce. Drink himself insensible, and then, railing at fate, pitch himself into the sea. Forget him. Legrand is wasting his time. Mr. Kreutzer just happens to be a perfect...
Yeah, he's got the perfect person with the
image
perfect
Raven.
situation to
Athletic,
accuse of the murder.
cultured.
I'll eat his violin if he's the Raven or the murderer.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
Is there any alcohol around here? Oh.
English ham and eggs. One advantage on an international trip
They're a bit
is
hungry.
the international breakfast. Many. I, on the other hand, think ham and eggs are the only worthwhile contribution the English have made to international cuisine. Excellent.
What's this?
That's just what I needed. It's not, there's a magnificent... It's not fair, there's a magnificent... Coffee is not, but what?
What's this then? It says you on this.
It's not fair. There's a magnificent buffet, but I don't have an appetite. Maybe...
I want to find something that will get the guy out of there.
The ship might...
Let's just get involved in their conversation. Why not? Oh no. The captain's here now. What's the captain got to say? So I've triggered the next event.
Captain DeConti seems old and tired. The price you pay for a life like his, I suppose. I believe I've...
Who's Miss Mayers?
Miss Mayers seems to have found an opportunity to do nothing. Hello, Miss Mayers.
Hello, Mr.
Constable Zellner.
Zellner.
Do you think it's appropriate to go sunbathing in a situation like this?
What situation?
A woman was murdered last night.
I should not even notice the
If
murder
refusing
happened.
to sunbathe could bring the dead back to life, I'd go back to my cab.
Did you hear or see anything suspicious last night?
No, I didn't feel very well last night. I went to bed early.
So, you're feeling better this morning?
Thanks for asking.
I'm sure your parents are truly sorry that they can't be with you at this difficult time.
Maybe. But I'm not a little girl anymore, and thinking about my fiancé keeps me going.
You're engaged?
Yes. My boyfriend and I got engaged right before the trip. I wanted to surprise my parents, especially my dad.
I'm sure he'll be very surprised. But what will you do if your father doesn't agree to the engagement?
What choice does he have when he put me on this boat full of thieves and murderers in the first place?
I wonder if she's engaged too.
Enjoy the sun, Miss Mayers.
If you're trying to make me feel guilty...
Okay. Now I need to figure out how to progress further now. Wait a minute, I didn't speak to those guys in there. Nothing happened up top. I'm gonna go back into bar a second. Where's the doctor sleeping? I actually don't know where Doctor sleeps. Whose room's over here? Is that where Doctor was last time?
The death?
No, there's not much I can currently interact with here. I need a wire and the alcohol currently. And the way into the other room.
Mr. Kreutzer clearly... Legrand is absorbed in the interrogation. He still seems pretty annoyed.
That all I can say for this one.
Legrand will attend to the... I won't talk to him again until I'm ready to... Legrand will... I won't talk... Mr. Kreutzer...
Can I get the alcohol for you? Okay. Need to work out where to go next. I think I've clicked everything I can for most places. I'm gonna go back to top second. The axe might be helpful for something. Currently interacting with everything I can at the moment. Let's just see over here. I think he's still sleeping probably. Oh, Matty's here. Finally. Matty might be able to help me something.
Matt is keeping himself, but I think he'd be running around all over the place. Hello there, Pot.
Yeah, can you help me this time round? You're resourceful and trained.
Are you alright?
Uh-huh.
Have you recovered from our adventure?
Mr.
Hmm?
What's going on? Everybody's acting so strange. And there's tape across that door. I saw...
You don't have to be worried.
Is it about the man from the train?
It might be about the thief, yes.
Haven't you caught him yet?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I heard you and your mom used to argue a lot.
We did. Everything was bad. The house, school, the other kids.
You do know that your mother would love to have been with you, don't you? She had to go out to work to earn money.
Where
she
to
wouldn't
go
have had
from
to.
next? So let's speak
Dad
to
was
Mother.
still around. I'm always happy when we do something together on vacation. She has more time for me now, and I like my boarding school. I have lots of friends, and the teachers aren't so
Yeah, I'm happy
bad.
life now, the kid is.
Your mother and Professor Lucien seem to be on very good terms with each other.
Don't know.
He seems to be very nice.
I guess.
Lady
Lady
Westcott.
Westmacott is all by herself in the saloon. Maybe you'd like to visit her later.
Sure, the lady tells exciting stories.
I know. She's my favorite
Yeah,
writer.
famous writer. We
Told me
got
there's not
a
much fun to
signature
write
from her.
detective novels. She'd rather write something else, but her fans always want the same thing.
They made her rich and famous.
Then she smiled and nodded. She said it was a good idea.
What are you
Okay.
playing there?
I'm playing shuffleboard. At least I'm trying to.
Never played it before.
It's easy. Professor Lucien explained it to me.
And who won?
We didn't play.
You did. Do you want to play a game with me?
Sure.
Let's play some shuffleboard then.
Then let's get...
Oh yeah. What are we playing for?
I thought...
That's boring. We have to bet something.
You English...
So I'll bet my brand new slingshot. And you?
I don't want to...
How about...
Okay. If I win, I get the slingshot.
Ah,
Hey!
what's slingshot be useful though?
All right. Let the games begin.
Slingshot be interesting, but what would he use for though? How does it work? Ah, I see. I'm on 9 points, I'm guessing? He's a -10. Oh, I don't know if I got to make a move there. Oh, I think I lost. Oh, he's really cheeky there. Oh, I've ruined my chances there. I've lost badly. 50-7. Okay, I know I messed up on. I really want that slingshot.
Rats.
Haha, that's one.
You've been... This time...
Nah.
Okay, so I think we win this. We get an item we might need for the investigation then. Oh, we've powered that by long shot. Oh, what did he get? 10? Oh, way too hard again. Now I'm messing this shot up. I'm messing this mini game up badly. Oh, I made it 20, didn't I? Okay, at least it's not going as bad as I thought it was going to go. A tie so far? Oh, I made a big mistake maybe there. Oh, I lost again. Shuffleboard is tough. I hate mini games like this, they always throw me off. We're winning the third time lucky, guys. We're gonna win this time.
Ow, that's it. Nah.
Okay, I gotta learn how to underpower it. Ah, that's a good power level. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. Misclicked that. Oh, that was a bit of a mess. Oh, way too hard. If you just joined us, literally we are investigating a murder on the boat. Oh, never mind. I think I should have this, but I'm terrible at this little game. All of it's in one little side. At least you won this time. It wasn't the most practical win, but it's a win. Oh, that was an awkward win. I'm really terrible at mini games half the time.
That's it.
Oh, man.
The athlete wins the day.
One more time.
No.
All right. Here.
Are you sure?
Gambling debts are debts of honor.
I wonder what is a slingshot for?
I'll give it back to you when I don't need it anymore, okay?
Okay.
What's a slingshot
A
for? I need to
good
work out what slingshot's for.
Drawing on the expert.
Okay.
Salty sea air in my old lungs. If I hadn't become a policeman, I could have been a sailor.
Okay, interesting. Let's talk to these two.
Miss Miller and the professor are... Good morning, Miss Miller.
How are you two doing today?
Lucien?
Constable Zellner, how are you? I heard you passed out last night.
Well, not...
Oh.
That wretch.
Who do you mean by that wretch?
That stowaway. That new Raven.
The
He's not
young
New
man
Raven. How
can't
could he be?
be
He's
the
too young to
murderer.
be New Raven.
Constable Oliver had already apprehended him when the shot was fired.
You mean...
Whoever killed the Baroness
It's still
is
loose.
still on the loose.
I think I should take my leave. I'd like to rest for a while.
Okay,
One last
if you say
question,
so.
Professor. Do you think the eye is well protected in the safe in Legrand's cabin?
Of course it is. They assured me that it would take hours of work with heavy machinery to crack the safe. And if Legrand isn't in his cabin, Constable Oliver or I check that everything is in order every hour.
I understand.
I want to go back to my cabin. I'll see you later, Mary.
Oh.
Okay, maybe that's an advice we can use
See
now.
you later.
So how you doing, Miss Miller?
I didn't want to interrupt your conversation with Professor Lucien so abruptly.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Learning that there's still a burglar on board seemed to frighten him.
He was so relaxed the whole time, and then...
We mentioned a burglar and he started getting a bit suspicious.
The stupid Swiss constable came by and made him anxious.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
No matter. I'm sure he'll calm down and come back soon enough. May I ask you a few questions?
Let's see what we ask her then.
Of course.
How's Matt? He seems happy enough.
After all the commotion, he's already back to his old self again. But
Okay.
I haven't told him about the murder. That would be a bit too much for him.
I think he's made of sterner stuff.
I want to thank you again for what you did on the
If you're
train.
watching, who do you think the murderer is
I
currently?
wouldn't have known.
Everything's fine. Think nothing of it. How was last night for you?
It was
Where
awful.
were you last night, lady?
I
We
was
need to
having
know
a
everyone's
conversation
location.
with Edgar, Professor Lucien, here on the forecastle. Then I wanted to look for the lady and went forward via the side deck. When I passed the Baroness's cabin, I heard a muffled scream.
You heard a scream?
Yes.
Oh, she was awake then.
I thought the Baroness probably had a fall. I went to the door and listened for a moment. Since I couldn't hear anything, I knocked on the door and asked whether she was all right. There was no answer.
Interesting. And then?
I didn't know what to do, so I tried to open the door. It was locked. I saw the Baroness.
Oh yeah, we knew it was locked inside already, yeah. Someone locked it from the inside when she was in a
room.
room.
On the way, the Bobby crossed my path, and then Edgar, who wanted to check the safe. I explained the situation to him, and then the alarm went off.
The scream?
How did the scream?
It was a short outcry, very frightened, as if someone had been startled.
Was it a woman's voice?
Yes, the voice was high.
So it could have been
Okay,
a
so this
scream
woman
from
that's
the
killed her.
Baroness.
Was it the
Possibly because
daughter?
she discovered someone in her cabin.
Possibly.
That person might have threatened her with a weapon.
So the woman
that
we know in
she
the
wouldn't
cabin is the
scream
old
for
lady,
help.
her.
Oh, God.
He waited until the coast was clear.
Oh, please, stop it, Mr. Zellner.
The Baroness's butler said that he was on the forecastle as well?
Yes, he was standing on the other side of the deck smoking a cigarette.
What?
I'm not sure. He was there, and later he was on the side deck with us. Oh, yes, he looked after you while you were unconscious. He unbuttoned your collar and held your head while the doctor checked
Oh,
you.
so he actually helped us.
But
That's
you
good
can't
for
say
the
for
professor.
certain whether he came from the forecastle with you and Professor Lucien, or afterwards.
Well, no. But where else could he have come from?
Legault's
Did you
investigation.
report that to Inspector Legrand?
Yes, last night. He was very interested and took a lot of notes. But I wanted to look for Lady Westmacott, and he let me go without further delay. He said that he'd take down my full statement today.
I understand.
Do you think the man from the train also killed the Baroness, Constable Zellner?
I don't
Potentially,
know.
that's what we're going on
It's
clues
horrible.
on.
Explosions, thieves, murderers. This isn't the right place for a lady and a little boy.
You and Professor Lucien seem to be having a lively conversation.
Oh, yes. He's an expert in ancient
so
Egyptian
she's
art
interested in
and
his
preeminent
work.
in hieroglyphic research. He's the head of the Egyptian department in the British Museum, you know. And he's going to open an exhibition at the Egyptian Museum in
Right. For the eye.
They had planned on exhibiting both jewels together for the first time in decades, but that's not going to happen now.
Yep,
sadly.
the other one got stolen, and we've got the other
quite
one on our
sad for him.
sites.
We're working hard to ensure that at least one eye will be on display.
I know. I'll ask Lady Westmacott if she'd like to participate in the opening of the exhibition. I think it would be good for her.
And Professor Lucien will surely offer you a private tour. You're American, aren't you?
That's correct.
And you moved to England because of the job?
I lived in England before. During the
Oh, so
Second
she's
World
running
War,
World War
I
II.
volunteered. I worked in a pharmacy on a U.S. base north of London.
That's an
In a
interesting story. So yeah,
pharmacy?
she wants help people at the time.
Sent where they could help best.
Please, go on, Mrs. Miller.
After the war, I studied
We'll
music
learn his
in London.
backstory today.
I met my husband there. We married and went back to the States together.
He was also American?
No, English. But he said he had problems with his family, and he wanted to be as far from them as possible.
And you gave up your studies for him?
Well,
Young love.
yes, I did.
Life as a single mother couldn't have been easy.
It was pretty tough then. I worked from morning till night, and it was still only enough for the bare necessities. And I couldn't give Matt all the attention he needed.
And then Lady
Yeah, she's
Westmacott
24/7
entered your
mum and
life.
worker now,
It's like
basically.
an angel appeared to me. She must have offered me the position out of pity. I had no experience
Oh,
as
she's
a
a carer, is
She
she?
made me a
Okay.
generous offer. I couldn't believe it. And she really adores Matt. She's offered him a good education, and now he has every opportunity in life.
An almost unbelievable story.
I'm still afraid that it's a dream and that I'll wake up one day.
How does it feel to work for such a world-famous person?
The work is very interesting and varied, and it pays well,
Still
too.
trying to figure out
You're
who
very
the
lucky
killer is
that
going
the
to
lady
be.
offered the position to you.
I just hope she won't change her mind one day. What would become of Matt's education then? I really make an effort to measure up to Lady Westmacott's expectations.
Oh, she'll be let go in case she loses all her life she's been building up.
Lady Westmacott couldn't
Yeah, that's a
ask
risk.
for a better companion.
I'm saving up as much money as I can all the same. I'd do anything so that Matt doesn't have to give up his new life.
Murderer of... oh.
Lady Westmacott dropped a hint on the train that she killed her hero, Partout.
Oh, we want to know about... Oh, yeah,
she
she said she's not writing more
she
books
must have
anymore.
read the manuscript.
Manuscript?
She always takes it with her. It's an unpublished Partout novel. I once asked her why she never published it. She said that according to her will, the novel's only to be published after her death.
And
Okay.
in it, Partout will be killed?
Maybe. I've never read it. No one has. You'd better ask her yourself.
If you worked in a pharmacy, you would certainly know something about medicines and poisons.
Everything is a potential poison, Constable. It depends on the dose.
Have you ever heard of chloral hydrate?
It's
Oh, yeah, we asked
tranquil,
about this because this is what we poisoned
I'm
last night
asking you.
with, so we know more about
Lady
this.
Westmacott also asked questions like that for her last novel. But since I've never wanted to kill anyone, I never bothered with things like strychnine and arsenic and all that. I could recommend something for a headache, a sore throat, or
Oh,
a
so she's using
rash.
those medical things that
That's
help
kind
people,
of
not
you.
the other
But
side
there's
of all of it.
really no
Okay.
need. I'll be seeing you, Miss Miller.
Constable.
Unfortunate people with low... I don't know what...
Okay, we might actually have to come back to her later on. Because when we find out about drugs and medicine, she might be able to help us with it, basically. We've got our medical expert.
The bottle should... No, wait.
I wonder if I can get to move.
Inspector Legrand is questioning the first of the passengers in the saloon.
And?
It will be hours before he gets to the stowaway.
And?
We'll save time if I question him.
We'd also... What time is it, by the way?
Got an appointment?
No, but I'm hungry.
Go and get yourself something. I'll mind the door in the meantime.
You could bring me something, though.
So...
Oh, what?
There's hemp...
Can't touch.
Why not?
Sergeant Mill.
Hmm?
He's responsible for the fitness of the unit. And
We're trying to tempt him away with all the food, guys.
I see. Leave it with me.
Yeah, thanks.
Still...
Well, do let me know.
Oh, do you want food, do you really? I'll get the food for you then, buddy. I thought I would tempt it away from the door. We'll grab a bit of food from him then. He's so hard to lure out that area. So we originally tried the long way with the tactical telling him, oh, we need him to check the room. So I guess we're going to Saloon to get some food for him. Let's keep going. This is a long mission because I got to get loads of different things to get around the place. Let's get some food then for him.
Whatever and just a pinch of salt for our friendly constable.
Yep, we gotta keep him happy.
Good.
I need to know what wire is, because I haven't come across any wire yet. And I still suspect the doctor poisoned us.
Constable Oliver.
Food for you, my sir.
Ham and eggs, piping hot.
Oh, I shouldn't really.
I don't see anyone
Go
here.
on, tempt yourself. You
It
should
was a
have a bit
hard
of
night.
food. Go on, you should.
Oh, delicious. Just enough salt.
You don't expect me to wash your dirty dishes as well?
Of course. Oh!
The constable is quenching his thirst with a bottle.
I know that. I need to work out how to get alcohol. That's the only thing I'm working out currently. Maybe there's some alcohol I can get from somewhere. I just need to know where to get alcohol from. It's my next mission. But they said she had a few drinks before she came in. She might have some alcohol in her room somewhere.